Welcome to Lives of Light, Little Saints. Today we celebrate Saint Landry of Paris, whose feast day is June 10th. He saw people who were hungry and sick, and he dedicated his life to helping them. Let's discover how one bishop's compassion changed an entire city. Story: the bishop who built a house of mercy. Long ago, in the great city of Paris, there lived a holy bishop named Landry. He served during the 7th century, a time when many people struggled with poverty, hunger, and sickness. Saint Landry loved God with all his heart. He spent many hours in prayer and carefully taught the people about Jesus. But he knew that loving God also meant caring for those who were suffering. Whenever he walked through the streets of Paris, Landry noticed the poor. He saw hungry children. He saw elderly people who had no one to help them. He saw sick men and women who had nowhere to go for care. His heart was filled with compassion. One year, a terrible famine struck the region. Food became scarce, and many families worried about how they would survive. People lined the streets, hoping to find something to eat. Some had sold nearly everything they owned. Others had no money at all. When Bishop Landry saw their suffering, he could not ignore it. He opened the church's storehouses and distributed food to those who were hungry. Day after day, he made sure that families received bread and other supplies. Soon, the resources began running low. Some advisors became worried. "Bishop Landry," they said, "if we keep giving away our supplies, we may have nothing left." But Landry answered, "How can we keep what we have while our neighbors are starving?" His concern for others was greater than his concern for possessions. When the food ran short, Landry even sold valuable church treasures to buy more food for the poor. Some people were shocked. The beautiful items were precious and difficult to replace. But Landry knew that people were more important than gold and silver. "The treasures of the church," he explained, "are meant to serve God's people." The hungry were fed. The weak received help. The suffering found hope. But Saint Landry's work did not stop there. He noticed that many sick people had nowhere to receive care. At that time, hospitals were rare. Many families struggled to care for loved ones who were seriously ill. Landry decided something must be done. He helped establish one of the earliest hospitals in Paris, a place where the sick could be cared for with dignity and compassion. This hospital became known as the Hôtel Dieu, meaning House of God. For centuries, it served countless people in need. Because of Landry's vision, many lives were saved. People throughout Paris came to respect their bishop. Not because he was powerful, not because he was wealthy, but because he loved others as Christ loved them. Saint Landry taught that faith is not only about words, it is also about actions. It is about feeding the hungry, helping the sick, comforting the lonely, and sharing God's love through works of mercy. When Saint Landry died around the year 661, the people remembered him as a shepherd who cared deeply for his flock. His example continued inspiring Christians for generations. Today, Saint Landry reminds us that every act of kindness matters. When we help someone in need, we become instruments of God's love in the world. Reflection. Saint Landry teaches us to care for people who are struggling. Ask yourself, do I notice when someone needs help? Am I willing to share what I have? How can I show kindness to someone today? Even small acts of generosity can make a big difference. Prayer. Dear Saint Landry, you cared for the hungry, the sick, and the poor. Help me to see the needs of others, to share generously, and to serve with a loving heart. Teach me to follow Jesus by showing kindness and mercy every day. Amen. Remember, little saints like Saint Landry, God calls us to care for those in need. A generous heart can bring hope, comfort, and God's love to many people. See you next time on Lives of Light.